Today, right now, at this moment, starting now, I'm going to relate to you a story. A story from last week, last Monday, during the night, in class, with a group. So in my critical thinking class, we were doing one of those icebreaker things where you learn about your fellow students whilst learning more about your deductive skills. So we played this game in class. You probably have played it before. Actually, Paltown Pals played this during New Year's. It's where you're in a group of people and you give them 3 facts about yourself and 1 lie, and everyone else in the group has to decide which one is the lie. And in my critical thinking class, because it's critical thinking, you had to pick which one was the lie and then explain your critical thinking process that brought you to that conclusion. But anyway, my 4 things were: 1, I'm the youngest of 4 kids. 2, I've been to New Zealand twice. 3, I'm an English major. And 4, I prefer PC over Mac. Now, I will tell you straight off, I am the youngest of 4 kids. I am an English major. I do prefer PC over Mac, but I've only been to New Zealand once. So I read off my 4 things to my group members, and then they proceeded to tell me which ones they thought were lies. So the first 2 people say, well, I think the PC over Mac thing is a lie because Macs are more user-friendly and they're a lot more popular than PCs. And then the other person agrees and adds on, yeah, and if you really are an English major, then I would think that you would like Macs better because English majors aren't really computer people. Oh. I'm not a computer person. But then the last 3 people said, oh, well, I don't really think you're an English major because right now you're using graph paper to take notes on. And graph paper is something that I would guess math people would use and science people. But graph paper is really useful. You can line things up better. And then the last 2 were saying, yeah, and if you really were an English major, then you wouldn't be taking this critical thinking class. You would be taking an actual English class like English 1B or something. The irony of that statement to me is that English B really isn't even that more advanced of an English class. And then basically the last people were saying, oh yes, and if you really are a PC over Mac person, then you couldn't be an English major because English majors are all hipsters and they like their pretentious, good-looking, expensive MacBooks. So you couldn't be one. But I am an English major. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing anyone in my class. Since we don't know each other, really the only way that you can guess which statements are lies or not is to use stereotypes and assumptions and observations and things like that. So I mean, everything that they said was valid, but it was just kind of sad because no one thought I was the person who I am. This vlog just got a lot sadder very quickly. And I don't really fit into any of those stereotypes. I'm kind of like in limbo between 2 groups with nowhere to belong. Except though, I think all the Paltown Pals are in limbo, so, well. So that was my story. I know some of you might say, stereotypes are bunk. Normalcy is a relative term. Well, I don't know, stereotypes have to have some basis, right? Because there had to have been some trend or pattern to make the stereotype in the first place. And I don't really think that normalcy is a relative term. I need more philosophy classes. How many majors can I fit in 3 years? We will have to wait and find out. Happy upcoming Valentine's Day. Congratulations to everyone who actually has a real Valentine. And congratulations to Alex. Be an independent woman. I support your decision.